I'm taking this to killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though.
Lil Jeff wasn't just another street rapper. He lived every bar he spit and made sure the whole world saw it. From the hit that took out Monty and Lil Rob to the one that claimed NLMBTY, Jeff wasn't just talking about beef. He brought it live for everybody to see. In this video, we're taking a look at the times Lil Jeff shot his ops on camera. The killing of Monty and Lil Rob. It's crazy how one man can brag about killings via the lyrics in his music and other random videos shared online. It is even crazier that Lil Jeff got tattoos that allegedly signified the number of people he had killed. But for lovers of drill music, this would seem like an entirely normal thing between rappers who beef each other. However, as for Lil Jeff, bragging and dead shaming didn't quite cut it. He attacked his ops on live. One of his very first kills recorded live was near a school premises. The rapper had allegedly attacked 2 teenage boys, Monty and Lil Rob. In the surveillance footage, the boys were ambushed around the train tracks not too far from their school. They had been out on a lunch break, but sadly never returned. The clip showed that a pair of armed men who drove by in a dark-colored SUV were responsible for pulling the trigger. They shot at both Monty and Lil Rob with one intention in mind: to end them. Moments after the shooting, the armed men hurried into a vehicle and sped off southwards on Wabash before swerving on Madison Road. Meanwhile, back at the attack scene, a bystander was able to record the whole thing that showed the victims helplessly sprawling on the bare floor. One of the victims appeared lifeless with his body facing up, while the other tried to struggle some more. The eyewitnesses could be heard squealing in shock and pain as they watched 2 young males die right in front of them. One of the eyewitnesses recounted that she was grazed by a bullet, but had managed to escape while the ambush took place. Another clip of the shootout surfaced of people running helter-skelter trying to scamper into safety. While all of this was going on, Lil Jeff decided that it was the perfect time to brag about the murders. The rapper shared a clip of himself riding in a black-colored SUV, which was allegedly the same vehicle that attacked the teenage boys. Lil Jeff also donned a black face mask alongside black clothing, which aptly fit the description of the assailants who attacked the boys earlier. In a somewhat brazen manner, Lil Jeff gave off his feeling of being accomplished by vibing and rapping to a song while driving in the vehicle. The rapper did not mind spotlighting the faces of his company, which included 2 other guys. As if that was not enough self-snitching, Lil Jeff goes the extra mile by claiming the hit on Monty and Lil Rob. Lil Jeff took his usual comfy spot behind the wheels of a moving vehicle while he updated his fans about how the shooting went. Although he refrained from mentioning names, the rapper explicitly talked about firing bullets and wearing black outfit during the incident. He goes,
The shit will start happening, and y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week, and poof.
Where you at?
Gotta go. After that one, poof. I came back, poof. Long live them though.
Lil Jeff wasn't the only one who was on the accelerator when it came to dissing the dead ops. In fact, the entire Bloodhound crew seemed to be standing on business when it came to claiming the hit on Monty and Lil Rob. One time, when the rapper shared a snap on his stories, fans could see that it was a group gathering that showed each member rocking their icy wristwatches on their wrists while making a toast with their drinks in plastic cups. Lil Jeff's caption on the image read, "Dis fade my dirty ops that can't sup this shit, no move." While Lil Jeff was at it, Q50, his closest pal and cousin, also hinted that they might have plotted Monty and Lil Rob's deaths. In one of his raps, he raps, "Blooded called, said he trying to go spin. We can spin downtown, let's 2 got left." While some fans believed that Q50 was simply buttressing the fact that they had planned the murders, others thought it was just a diss track. One person quipped, "They purposely leave their lines open for interpretation. It's all a part of their killer humor." Another added, "This really wasn't claiming it, NGL. The only line I seen him claiming it at was when he said, 'We tapped that bitch, we knew he was hit when he started to holler.'" The disses kept raining in, with Lil Jeff telling his ops that he was happy they were grieving. In another shared post, he captured his wrists wearing 2 wristwatches, one of which was a $499 Cartier bust-down special. Lil Jeff captioned the image, "LOL tried to turn me down, but they turned me up." The display of wristwatches as a way of taunting the ops makes sense, considering the fact that the entire beef was created after Monty and Lil Rob stole wristwatches and a huge neck chain from Lil Rob. Monty and Lil Rob then go on to taunt Lil Jeff over fake jewelry. In a video, the boys referred to the Bloodhounds as their ops, although they maintained that the accessory was all fake. They decorated their wrists with the stolen wristwatches while they swung the neck piece in front of the camera. Lil Jeff didn't slow down in attacking the boys who took his pieces of jewelry. In a retaliatory slip, he goes,
I look up, the nigga taking off down the stairs with 5 more extra niggas.
Oh man.
And I'm like, damn, I thought niggas was gangster. The whole time I'm right there still working with them. I'm telling them we could keep this
Unfortunately, Lil Jeff and his crew might have kept things too gangster. But while the rapper adamantly claimed the murders, the police did not label him as the killer. Late last month, after more than 1 year of the murder, the authorities signaled that they had a break in the case. They had arrested a Chicago native named Tommy Coleman. He was arrested in the 5700 block of North Mason Avenue and has since been identified as one of the 3 assailants that gunned down Monty and Lil Rob. During his first court appearance, prosecutors maintained that one of Coleman's accomplices was now deceased. They claimed that he died in June 2024, a few months after the murders. Interestingly, Lil Jeff died in June 2024 while he pursued another victim in the middle of a street, firing incessantly at the other guy. The last person involved in the shooting, according to the police, is James Allison, a 20-year-old who is now in their custody. He has since been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count each of attempted murder, among other crimes relating to the shooting. Like Allison, Coleman was slapped with 2 felony counts of first-degree murder and 1 count each of attempted first-degree murder. Next up, we dig into another of Lil Jeff's most talked about murders, the broad daylight hit on NLMBTY. On May 5th, 2024, a few weeks before Lil Jeff himself was gunned down, there was a shooting in the Chatham neighborhood. Like the previous murders of the Bloodhound Opps, this was an attack that happened in broad daylight around 5 p.m. precisely. In the video that has since made its way to the internet, these Bloodhound Opps were lingering in front of the Happy Liquor Food store in 7901 S Cottage Grove Avenue when they were aggressively attacked by 4 men. In the video, the assailants arrived inside 2 dark-colored vehicles which they parked on the side of the road. Next, masked men exited the cars and rushed to their targets, and they hurriedly ran off to spray bullets up and down the place. Finally, these armed men retreated and drove off. The first victim was a 25-year-old who got bullet wounds on his arm, leg, and foot. However, he survived the shots as he was immediately taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. As for victim number 2, he was hit bad in his foot, but he received treatment in Trinity Hospital. Unfortunately, the third victim was not as lucky. His body was badly injured by multiple gunshots. Upon arrival at the hospital, the victim was declared deceased. The victim who died was revealed to be NLMBTY, who was 36 years old. According to the police, the men who orchestrated the hits were between ages 15 and 25. While the authorities investigated the murder case trying to catch the perpetrators, they were concerned about keeping the community safe, so they ordered that the liquor store cease to operate for some time. The Chicago Police Department defended their actions, claiming that they had the right to issue a short-term closure if such a situation posed threats to the public. This closure came 1 day after the shooting. Members of the community agreed to the closure following the deadly shooting outside the property. Michelle Harris, whose ward includes Happy Liquor Food store, shared, "I believe we are turning in the right direction with its recent closure, but I need community members, businesses, and block club presidents to speak up and work with me to ensure the location is used for positive business." While the community worked hand in hand with the police to find the murderers, the internet ran crazy with people theorizing that Lil Jeff was one of the men who pulled the trigger. They analyzed the features of each other's suspects who got out of the car before reaching this conclusion. Amid the speculation, some fans wondered why Lil Jeff would shoot at a member from the NLMB since they appeared to be cool. The commenter suggested, "Why would Lil Jeff kill somebody from NLMB? They all cool, WTF." Another wrote, "Probably a shootout with SB Else, and an NLMBB member was Ina Area." A third person quizzed, "Why is everyone just assuming that it's BH and Lil Jeff? They deep Ace L on that drill though." While a fourth commenter answered, "Same Infinity if I'm not mistaken. And one of them ninjas stance with the gun kinda looked like Q50 to me from the trap video." The Reddit community was solid on the idea that Lil Jeff was indeed among the killers. In a shared post by Chiricology on Reddit, the photo showed one of the suspects draped in an all-black attire from head to toe. An added caption suggested, "He's the one who hopped out of the BMW behind the Infinity," and it was the same Infinity that was in the Rob and Monty video. Let's circle back on why NLMBTY was shot. According to a Reddit post, the deceased was the 4th member of the NLMB to die that year. However, he wasn't the one whom the Bloodhounds wanted dead. In fact, theories affirm that the fight was between the notorious BKN and Drill City gangs of Chicago. Unfortunately, what happened that fateful day was a shootout between these groups, and sadly, NLMBTY was caught in the crossfire. Irrespective of who the intended targets, the shootout is peculiar for many reasons. It is a murder that has not yet been solved. The police have neither mentioned possible victims or apprehended anyone. Yet, the drill community strongly feels that Lil Jeff was a solid partaker of the crime. Lil Jeff's rampage didn't stop with NLMBTY. Just weeks before his death, he targeted another rival, Lil Pooh. This one was personal, fueled by family ties and a cycle of deadly retaliation. Lil Jeff claims he killed Lil Pooh. Let's first try to understand why it was a bragging right for Lil Jeff to talk about Lil Pooh's death. Lil Pooh was gunned down a few weeks after the death of Z-Money. Z-Money was Lil Jeff's cousin. He was shot at Avalon Avenue more than 20 times. This death saddened Lil Jeff and Q50, who did little to conceal their grief online. As for Lil Pooh, he was very affiliated to gangs from the East Side, including 95, MOB, and Trap City. However, he kept his affiliations to these gangs away from social media. Likewise, he lived very far from these gangs on the outside of Chicago. Yet he was somehow connected with the Bloodhounds due to rivalry. On the 9th of April 2023, the police responded to an emergency call that reported multiple gunfires. When they arrived, Lil Pooh was laying in front of the porch of his home. He had been shot several times and was dead on the scene. The police soon ruled the death as homicide while they combed the streets searching for the killer. While the police searched desperately, Lil Jeff teased with comments claiming Lil Pooh's murder. At first, Lil Jeff started by laughing about the death, claiming that Lil Pooh had been dissing his cousin Z-Money. He went on to talk about the death in an unreleased song. In the song titled In Your Home, Lil Jeff explained that Lil Pooh was gone after he arrived home to someone waiting for him in the grass. The lyrics read, "Smoking on Z, get filled up or crumbed up. Lil Pooh done Z. Now look who gone. You know that shit. Never take too long. Laying in the grass now led him to come home." This was possibly the scenario that played out, but as there was no surveillance footage capturing the moment, it was never confirmed. In fact, many believe that Lil Jeff was not responsible for the murder and that he only claimed it. This was because following his own death, a friend of Lil Pooh posted a tribute to him. Additionally, Lil Jeff wasn't the only one who was dissing Lil Pooh, since he was affiliated to different gangs in Chicago. After allegedly claiming Lil Pooh's life, Lil Jeff set his sights on another target, Jaleel Goins, a known Trap City member. The revenge killing of Jaleel Goins. Unlike other victims who were left exposed on the streets, Jaleel Goins was inside a rideshare car when he lost his life. It was on a Sunday night, and he has been in Little Italy on the near west side. Authorities maintained that an unidentified suspect approached Goins and shot him right before 9 p.m. Although it was a shocking scene for the rideshare driver who was currently attending to the deceased, yet he somehow found his way to the hospital. Upon arriving at Rush University Medical Center, the victim was dead. The police described the experience as a senseless street killing, while pledging to the community that such a thing would never happen again. Following investigations, the rideshare driver Robert Smith went on live TV to talk about the incident. He explained that they couldn't get to the hospital on time and that the victim died inside his car.
There was a car coming through, and then I turned to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to take you to the hospital." And he said, "Okay." And then the next time I stopped, I had to stop at a light because there was two cars coming through the intersection, so I couldn't run it immediately.
Recall when we talked about the death of Lil Jeff's favorite cousin in March 2023? Well, this was an event that changed the rapper and made him go on a killing spree as he began to identify many gang members as his cousin's killer. Eventually, Lil Jeff confirmed that his cousin was killed by Trap City. In fact, this conviction led to their original beef and not the story of a stolen piece of jewelry. Apparently, Jaleel Goins was a firm member of Trap City. So apart from claiming the body of one of Trap City gang members, he wanted the group to know that he was on to them. Soon after Goins' death, Lil Jeff teamed up with his cousin Q50 to diss the gang in a song titled Coffin. Another moment tied to Lil Jeff's name was the rumored killing of a female op. Lil Jeff kills female op. This remains an unconfirmed rumor, however, it has followed Lil Jeff closely even to his death. In the wee hours of November 1st, 2023, a duo, male and female, were targeted inside a parked car in Avalon Avenue. They were known as Lil Deuce and D-Money, as well-known female gangsters. D-Money was connected to gangs in the hood, including the STL EBT. As the pair chatted away, they were interrupted by two gunmen who rained bullets into the vehicle. Ultimately, they shot D-Money once and drilled multiple bullets into Lil Deuce. Eventually, the duo were transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center. In the hospital, they were pronounced dead. Like many unsolved cases, the local police struggled to make sense of the crime, motive, and particularly the shooters. Again, online investigators called this mere rumors, while many believed that Lil Jeff was involved, but there was very little evidence to substantiate these claims. Months later, Lil Jeff gave fans a little sprinkle to hold on to after he quoted a King Von song while adding a series of emoji as his caption. Many believed that this was a way to alert the world about his toughness while recounting the number of bodies. Among the emoji was a woman's hat, and for commenters, this was enough evidence pinning him to the murder of D-Money. This next event, connecting Lil Jeff to a live shooting of an Opps, takes center stage as one of the most significant crimes in his killing spree. Why? Well, that's because the rapper was gunned down by the man whom he intended to kill. Lil Jeff killed while chasing an op. Although it was alleged that Lil Jeff had taken down 11 people in an attempt to top up this number, the rapper met his doom. Back in June 2024, Lil Jeff was spotted on surveillance footage chasing down a man in yellow shorts. The camera spotted when Lil Jeff got out of the car to attack an unknown man who ran for his life. Viewers did not get to see if Lil Jeff's shot hit the man, but as he scurried away in between buildings, the shooter persisted, and that was when Lil Jeff got hit. After getting fired multiple times, Lil Jeff suddenly falls to the ground, conceding defeat. In the same area, a retaliatory attack was planned by members of the Bloodhounds with Q50, Lil Jeff's cousin, leading the way. Another clip showed some men firing aimlessly into the air trying to hit a target. Although we were not shown who their target was, they soon retreated, proving that the coast was clear and they had eliminated the threat. The man in the video wearing the red outfit is later identified as Lil Jeff's cousin Q50, and he can be seen returning fire towards the direction of the building where Jeff was shot. Some fans believe that Q50 had shot at a car, which was the same vehicle that Lil Jeff's killer was driving before the murder. Eventually, the entire crew left the area with one of the men wounded, while Lil Jeff was sprawled on the floor. The rapper had been hit 19 times, and he had no chance of survival, even though his crew rushed him to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Once the police reached the scene, they barricaded the area and proceeded to investigate. Their investigations led them to the multiple number of shell casings scattered all around the floor. They also spotted blood on the front porch of a building where Lil Jeff was shot. One of the first people to break the tragic news of Lil Jeff's untimely death was Kyle Mazza, a national journalist who explained that the murder took place in Illinois, the 6,600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue, at around 5:14 p.m. on a Saturday. She wrote on X, "Unidentified male victim shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois on June 8, 2024. At Spot Newsonic reports that the victim killed is Chicago rapper Bloodhound Lil Jeff." Soon enough, the clip of Lil Jeff getting shot soon appeared on Reddit, and as expected, it attracted attention from users. Some of the fans criticized Lil Jeff's homies for not doing more to protect him, with one user writing, literally, "The one who was about to bring in all y'all up with him, possibly gonna feed the whole fam. Y'all let this happen to y'all star. It shouldn't even been there in the first place." Meanwhile, a few others couldn't help but feel sad at the way Lil Jeff fell to his death. One commenter wrote, "The guy didn't even run back to the car or anything, just walked. Probably got a clear sight of them shooting his homie and knew it was over. The realization probably hit all three of those guys like a truck when they got back in and drove off." Away from the judging lips of commenters online, Lil Jeff's death stirred sympathy and grief in the rap community. Many poured our tributes to the fallen hero. His friend and fellow rapper Day Tweaker took to his Instagram account to post back-to-back stories featuring Lil Jeff. While sharing one of the pictures, he wrote, "I love you, I'ma be with you real soon." He went on to add, "Damn, Bruda, this don't feel real." In the days that followed, other rappers and celebrities continued to send tributes in honor of the deceased. However, fans got to see another side of Lil Jeff that they never knew when his girlfriend shared a heartbreaking message. In one of the posts, Lil Jeff's girlfriend, whose TikTok name is P-Money365, leaves a heartbreaking message that reads, "You would be so mad that I let the world know you really was a sweetheart. You did whatever for me. Literally. I never understood how y'all was so scared of him. He was my BFF, my Clyde, my escape, my whole world." In the Opps camp, things were very different. Lil Jeff's killer was soon identified as Trap City Rob, and word on the street was that Trap City and the Bloodhounds were at loggerheads. Following an interview with members of Trap City, it was revealed that a stolen chain caused the tension between the groups.
He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
After Lil Jeff's death was confirmed, members of Trap City, including Trap City Rob, were spotted in a viral video celebrating his demise. They stopped by the porch of the home where Lil Jeff was gunned down. Trap City goes ahead to recreate how the rapper was killed, much to the amusement of the other gang members. Amid the taunting and celebration of their ops in the clip, something stood out. Unlike the other members of Trap City, Lil Jeff's killer did not do too much to draw attention to himself. Trap City Rob appeared calm and refused to join the bandwagon of trolls. In fact, he has carried on with this behavior since then. Rob has refrained from speaking about the topic while trying to distance himself from the chaos. During an interview with DJU TV, when asked about the infamous shooting, Rob goes,
I just feel like they bogus, man. Whoever started that, man, please stop doing stuff like that. Like, for real, it's like real life, though, you know? So, it's not no video game. It's not no movie, you know what I'm saying? It's reality, so.
Yeah.
Even though Trap City Rob didn't tease or taunt his dead ops, he was arrested for the murder of Lil Jeff on October 31st. However, the police released him on November 1st due to a lack of evidence tying him to the crime. Following the release, fans agreed that Rob was blameless and that if he could be tried, it would go under the guise of self-defense. If you like this clip and would want to stay connected for first-hand info on what's trending, please click on the card showing on the screen.